The shock begins quietly, the way Salem's most devastating moments often do, with something small, something that seems harmless at first. Sarah Horton Kyriakis is rushing around the Kyriakis mansion preparing dinner, planning her day, texting with Xander, and juggling the chaos of motherhood and work. She doesn't notice the slight bitterness in her tea. She doesn't think twice about the fact that Rachel Black has been lingering near the kitchen, her eyes strangely emotionless, her movements quiet enough to slip under everyone's radar. No one suspects a child. No one thinks Rachel has carried resentment so deep, fear so twisted, and anger so carefully fed by months of emotional turmoil that she could do something irreversible. But the moment Sarah lifts the cup to her lips, Salem's fate shifts. Within minutes, Sarah starts feeling dizzy. At first, she assumes it's exhaustion or stress. She has brushed off worse symptoms before. But then her body weakens. Her vision blurs. She collapses. Everything turns into a blur of panic and shouting as people rush to her side. Xander is the first to fall apart, screaming for help, shaking her, begging her to breathe. Brady rushes in. Maggie cries out her daughter's name. The paramedics arrive quickly, but something in their faces, the urgency, the grim tension, makes it clear that something is terribly wrong. At the hospital, Marlena, Kayla, and the team fight desperately to save Sarah. But the toxin acts fast and it acts viciously. It shuts down her organs one by one, and by the time the truth becomes clear, that she was poisoned, there is nothing more the doctors can do. Sarah slips away, leaving Salem shattered, leaving Maggie devastated, leaving Xander screaming in a mix of grief and rage. Her death feels unnatural, cruel, malicious. And the search for a culprit begins immediately. The investigation turns Salem upside down. At first, the police assume an adult is responsible. Someone with motive, someone with history, someone with the capacity for murder. But as they retrace Sarah's final hours, the unthinkable truth emerges piece by piece. Security footage reveals Rachel slipping into the kitchen. The cup Sarah drank from contains a toxic substance that Rachel had access to, thanks to her knowledge of where Kristen once hid things. And then there is the behavioral evidence. Rachel's cold silence, her refusal to answer questions, the way she shuts down emotionally when confronted. Brady's world collapses. He looks at his daughter and sees not a monster, but a child twisted by trauma, grief, manipulation, and years of chaos surrounding her life. He tries to shield her. He tries to explain that she didn't understand the consequences. But Chloe, Marlena, Kayla, even Belle, they all know that the law does not look kindly on murder, regardless of the age of the perpetrator. Emotions rise as people debate whether Rachel should be punished, rehabilitated, or protected. Xander, broken by grief, demands justice. He refuses to accept excuses. Maggie is torn between her daughter's death and the knowledge that Rachel is still a child. Eric tries to mediate. Sean struggles with the legal reality. Rachel cannot be treated as a normal adult offender, but she cannot walk free either. The courts decide that Rachel must face juvenile detention until a psychiatric evaluation can determine whether she is a danger to society. Prison, not in the adult sense but in the sobering reality of a secure facility, becomes the future for Rachel Black. Brady is forced to watch his daughter escorted away, screaming for him, terrified, confused, unable to understand how her choice led to this moment. Salem reels. Kristen returns and explodes, blaming Brady, blaming Chloe, blaming anyone except herself for the environment Rachel was raised in. The ripple effects shatter relationships, destroy trust, and push multiple families into crisis. Sarah's funeral becomes one of the most emotional moments in years, a raw reminder of what unchecked trauma in the Demera, Brady orbit can lead to. And from that moment on, the question haunts Salem like a ghost. Was Rachel acting out of pure malice? Or was she a child drowning in emotional damage she never chose?